Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Great conference. It's great to see Dubai buzzing in October. It's still summer. It's still really hot. It shouldn't be so hot, but it's been fantastic being in this region. I moved here 3 years ago, and hence I was super excited to talk about the ecosystem in Dubai with my fantastic panelists. So let's start off with a quick introduction. I'll go first, and then Dr. Marwan and Danilo, you can follow suit. So my name is Nikita Sachdev. I'm the CEO of Luna PR, which is a PR agency. We're headquartered in Dubai with offices in Miami, Singapore, London. Also acquired the franchise for Cointelegraph for the Middle East and North Africa 2 years ago. So we're running that here. Hosted a show on CNBC Arabia called On the Chain, the first ever Web3 show in English focusing in the space. Had Dr. Marwan as my guest. And that's about me. And now it'd be great for you guys to introduce yourselves.
I'm Dr. Marwan Alzarouni. I'm CEO of Dubai Blockchain Center, as well as a strategic advisor for Dubai Economy and Tourism. And yes, I enjoyed so much the show we had together on CNBC. We're literally an ecosystem builder here in Dubai, and we try to help as many projects that are coming to Dubai and coming to the UAE to be successful and build the ecosystem here in the UAE.
Pleasure. Hello, everybody. My name is Danilo. I run a fund called Morningstar Ventures. We're a very international young team, pretty global, but our heart is in Dubai. We love this town. We love the space. We're also investors in some of the most successful projects that came out of Dubai, like, for example, Economy. And yeah, hope you're going to have a good time today.
So let's kick off the first discussion point on this region. Dubai has been attracting so many, UAE even has been attracting so many companies, especially with what's happening in the US, at the SEC. A lot of American companies are moving here, which is very interesting for us to see. What do you think is attracting so many projects to the region, and what does the region have for all these companies? What does the region have to hold for all the companies that are moving here?
So I think one of the things is clarity. Of course, regulatory clarity is important, and a lot of times other regions are actually clamping down on crypto or being not attractive to crypto, whereas in the UAE we have very clear guidelines on the federal level as well as on the regional level, on the state level, with a lot of jurisdictions, a lot of regulations that are very welcome to crypto, and especially in Dubai with VARA, we have a purpose-built regulator for virtual assets. So that makes it extremely attractive. And of course, the lifestyle helps, the leadership of the UAE and the leadership of Dubai, which is, puts you at the forefront of everything you do. You as a citizen, you as a resident, you as a visitor, as a tourist, as a student, as an entrepreneur. All of these advantages are unparalleled anywhere else in the world, and I think this is what's making Dubai a winning formula for startups in general and crypto startups in particular.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I would say that investors follow founders, so the money follows ideas. And if you look at what's happening in the US, founders are struggling to be founders in the US. And we've, of course, heard of the China ban a few years back. Some countries in Asia are also kind of, making regulations that are hard for founders to partake. So the UAE is very welcoming. And I think if founders come here, there is plenty of money here. There's plenty of leaders who are willing to bet on people with great ideas. So it's a very welcoming place for innovation and for young entrepreneurs, and that's awesome. So we feel grateful to be here in a space that is dynamic, open, and creative.
That's very interesting that you said investors follow founders, because personally I would think it's the other way around, but I'm curious to know your thoughts, Dr. Marwan. A lot of people believe that founders will follow investors. And one of the points was that there were a lot of sovereigns here, there were a lot of funds that were looking to enter Web3, which also was a big attraction point. Dubai is sometimes compared to the Silicon Valley of Web3 because of its investor landscape. What are your thoughts, Dr. Marwan? Do you think investors follow founders or founders follow investors?
I think it's both, actually, a little bit of both, but I think you need a critical mass to get either a lot of the developers to come here or the other way around with the investors. And I think we have that right now. A lot of people were talking in the last couple of years that it's crypto winter, but if you live in Dubai and you've come to the events in Dubai, you would not know that it was crypto winter. But today is different because, you know, the crypto prices pumped like crazy, maybe because of this event, or maybe because we are very close to the halving, but more so right now than ever, we have builders here, we have funds and funds deployed out of the UAE more than any time before, even in the good times. And I think regulation clarity is really at the forefront of this, but also people realizing the Dubai brand, people realizing that Dubai is the place to be for crypto, and being comfortable to walk and talk to people about crypto, being comfortable with having the right regulation, being comfortable with accessing or access to funds deployed here in Dubai, and really enjoying the ecosystem and enjoying even the melting pot that is Dubai, enjoying the spaces and the events where they meet like-minded people. The energy here in Dubai is unparalleled anywhere in the world. I just came from Token 2049 in Singapore, and I know that they are coming to Dubai in April as well, and I'm anticipating the energy to be even more than the energy that was in Singapore. I loved Singapore and I love all the side events, but I think Dubai is going to be amazing as well in April.
I totally agree with you.
Can I just add something? Before being an investor, I was an entrepreneur, and I failed my first business 10 years ago in Berlin, Germany. And at that point, I was very intimidated of investors. So especially when you come out of university and you're facing a 2-meter tall German in a suit, it's hard, right? So I think what happened the last 10 years is that entrepreneurship became cool. And the whole Y Combinator Silicon Valley approach, where investors are seeking founders, it leveled up the game. And so I love to see that today, founders are just as important as investors. And so I still strongly believe that the money follows the ideas.
That's a good point. So let's elaborate a little bit more into the investment landscape. What are you, Danilo, most excited about in the blockchain space from an investment point of view? Where are you feeling really bullish?
I don't want to be the bear in the room, but I think that the last few years we've been very aggressive, maybe too aggressive. So I think now we've certainly learned some lessons, and we were heavily in gaming. So far we've been a bit disappointed in gaming. I think we have 4 or 5 portfolio companies where we've seen they were well capitalized and they've been able to sustain their growth and build their product. So I'm personally still quite excited about gaming, particularly because we can see that gamers in Web2 don't like crypto. And so that's a challenge, I think, that the industry has to face. And I do believe the best ideas come out of challenges. So I think gaming is still something that attracts me. Generally speaking, Morningstar Ventures invests in all sorts of verticals, let's say. But of course, infrastructure is a very attractive field right now. And then personally, of course, it's hard to ignore AI. It's just that we are trying to educate ourselves as much as possible about AI. AI is such a broad topic, so we're still early. But the thesis that I always, think about that gets me excited is once we will live in a world of AIs, they will have to talk to each other and pay each other. And AIs will be paying each other in crypto, and I think that's an exciting thesis.
Let's elaborate a bit on infrastructure, as you mentioned. Also, personally, I believe that's a game changer. That's the game changer because you're actually implementing real-world use cases. And Dubai, the UAE, has been a great example of that. For those of you who traveled into the UAE, when you walked through Dubai's airport and you didn't even have to scan your passport, it just scanned your face, that's on the blockchain. So there's a lot of situations where blockchain is already implemented here. The banks are implementing blockchain. The technology is being used, which I think is the beauty beauty of this region. Where do you see, where else do you see this technology being utilized, and what are your thoughts on how forward-thinking the region has been, or do you think it has? I think we all agreed it's forward-thinking in its approach, but what are your thoughts on the real-world use cases of blockchain in the UAE?
We're very early actually. So we started with blockchain use cases back in 2016. For every applicable use case, we actually implemented it already, or had at least an attempt to implement it. So all the land plots and rental agreements and all of this, anything related to land and in Dubai is actually on the blockchain already. A settlement layer for payments for our super app, which is called Dubai Now, is actually done on the blockchain as well. This actually shrinked the settlement from being T plus 30, which is 30 days, and even sometimes more, to actually instant settlement. This is extremely important also for logistics. The DP World, which is one of the world's largest, if not the world's largest operator of ports, shipping ports, and logistics, is actually using blockchain in the background. A lot of the things that you mentioned as well are using blockchain in the background that we don't even talk about in Dubai. And these kind of projects were delivered between 2016 and 2020 and continue to evolve. So we actually practice what we preach. We don't say that we're using blockchain. We use it without saying that it is blockchain, because by design, it is actually sitting in the background.
And I believe that's what makes it, I think that's what really marks a successful utility of it, or use case of blockchain, is when it's so seamlessly integrated that people don't even know that they're using it. I think this will really bring in the mass adoption. The space is very daunting right now, especially, understanding how to trade and downloading a MetaMask and getting people involved. The daunting part is, I feel, what scares a lot of people away. What are some of the challenges that you're seeing for mass adoption in the region or even globally?
Yeah, I think definitely installing your wallet, making your first transaction is something that hasn't improved as much as we maybe all hoped for the last few years. The same wallets, the same onboarding mechanisms are still being used as a few years back. But I think, as we discussed before, the secret lies in applications that use the blockchain without any sort of boundary of challenge to actually download something, store your seed phrase, all of that. So I think, like applications for regular users that can be used on a regular basis are the ones that are going to bring more users into the space. So I really think it's a question of decentralized applications, and we just have to wait till someone cracks the code. Until your mother or your grandfather struggles to download a wallet, that means we're still early, which is also like a great opportunity. So hopefully someone in this room will come up with a great solution.
That's true. I always tell my parents, do you know when you FaceTime your grandma and you only see like the top of her forehead? I was like, if you don't understand blockchain soon, that's going to be you with your grandkids. And they're like, okay, we need to understand. Both of you are doing incredible things in the space, and I feel like in the introduction we didn't really elaborate on that enough. Both of you have something that's really creating an impact in the region. I would like to know a little bit more about Dr. Marwan, what you're doing, and Danilo, what you're doing, because you also have a big event coming up on Thursday. So Dr. Marwan, can you tell us more about the Blockchain Center and some of the other activities?
So in Blockchain Center, we one of the aims is actually education. So we run a lot of workshops about blockchain, about AI. We did a couple of weeks ago AI Assembly. We did 5 workshops on AI, including one about decentralized AI. So the cross between blockchain and AI, and what is the value of having them both together. And that was, I would love to tell you more about it right now, but that took 2 hours actually to explain the different use cases and where we should focus on when it comes to these kind of projects. But we also do a lot of events. We host a lot of meetups as well. We're doing strategic partnerships with layer 1 solutions for hosting their events here in Dubai as well. If you follow us on our website, which is dbcc.ae, you will see a lot of these events and meetups posted there. We also handhold a lot of the projects that come here. We help them also strategize regionally and also internationally. And all these kind of services are done for free. These are community kind of services that we do. And yeah, we welcome everybody here. The aim of the Blockchain Center is actually create an interesting and very exciting ecosystem for blockchain projects. So you owe it to yourself to come and visit us and explore how we can help you.
And education is a massive core of mass adoption, and we keep talking about mass adoption, but the UAE has done such a good job at it. What are some of the other initiatives that the region holds?
Making it easier, for example, regulation is number one, clarity on regulation. The other thing, making events easier, having the right actors coming in rather than scammers or bad actors in the space. This creates a safe environment where everybody can discuss cryptocurrency without worrying that they're going to get scammed. One of the services, for example, that Vara does is call out the projects that are trying to raise and without getting regulated. So that way we can have much more of an oversight over the environment here. And when you feel environmental security, you are much more likely to be more productive. When you are looking at a space or an event and you're seeing a lot of people who are trying to scam you, it's not very positive for the city, for the event, for the whole ecosystem. So regulatory compliance and regulatory clarity is extremely important, but also this oversight is important as well. And you as a community member here, if you see any projects that are trying to scam people in the UAE, please reach out to us and we were more than happy to explore how we can address it.
Just to elaborate on that, a couple of months ago, my wallet was hacked. So I went to the police because I, tracked it down to the last wallet. I just needed the report, and I was very impressed to see that the police actually has a cybercrime department that understands blockchain, and I feel like that is so rare to find on its own, and that already is so advanced and proactive.
So fun fact here. So we started Dubai Blockchain Center because of Dubai Police, actually. So back in 2016, they came to us. Personally, actually, they came to me and told me, can you teach the police how to trace blockchain transactions? In that case, Bitcoin. There was no other cryptocurrencies. There was no Ethereum, nothing, just Bitcoin. So that's where we started teaching the classes in the Dubai Police Officers Club. And then from there, we moved to Dubai Entrepreneurship Club. And then from there to Dubai Future Foundation, where we are actually based right now.
And see, that's what I mean. Like, education is just at the core of it all. Danilo, please elaborate on a little bit about what you're doing.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think education is really the key word here that is exciting, because if we're early in the space, that means there's still a lot to teach and to educate, right? So Morningstar Ventures is more than just a fund, right? So the way we operate is that deploying capital is our business model, but building stuff and creating value and doing things that we enjoy and are creative is our passion, right? So besides investing, we've actually fell in love with Dubai and wanted to build a physical place where we can meet founders, where we can meet creatives, and we can actually, build projects that can actually bring more people into the space. So about 2 years ago, we found a really special location in DIFC, and we started a project called 37X, which basically is a destination that bridges art and technology. So we believe that art is also a great medium to connect people. It's a theme that speaks many different languages, no matter where you were brought up or what you enjoy. Art is also a great investment class. And we feel that this space is a place where we want to, utilize to not only grow Morningstar Ventures as a brand, but also really onboard more locals, more people from the region into blockchain. So definitely encourage you all to visit it November onwards. I don't think, unfortunately, all of you fit on Thursday for our grand opening, but what I would like to say in general is I challenge all people in this room to really think about how they can be participators in bringing blockchain forward. I still remember, telling every taxi driver 10 years ago about crypto, and I'm sure some of these guys have had, great returns. So really, we're all part of this together. If we want the movement to grow, we need to do creative things to bring more people into the space.
And so that's why I wanted to just rewind and take a step back and introduce both of you again, because it's such a coincidence. Obviously, we didn't decide who's going to be on this panel. We were all put together. And both of you have this physical place, like a center for people to come and see, something that kind of bridges Web 2 to Web 3, educates people and brings this community together. And I think that's great for the audience here to know, to approach both of you on that. Let's take a step back and talk about this region again with regulation. So Dubai has attracted a lot of companies to come in for its regulatory framework. You have Dubai's VARA, you have Abu Dhabi's ADGM, most recently Ras Al Khaimah's RACDAO, and on the top you have ESCA. That's kind of the overall, similar to how Europe has MiCA. When companies are coming here, and there's probably a lot of visitors in this room, what advice do you have for them? How do all these jurisdictions come together, or how do they choose which jurisdiction is most important or valuable to their company?
There's not one size fits all, so you owe it to yourself to go exploring as well. I think each jurisdiction brings its pluses and minuses as well when it comes to, for example, budget for getting a license, when it comes to the ecosystem, and physical location is another thing. The regulator himself and the compliance that you need to be, compliance environment that you have to be in. There's a lot of other factors, including the space that you're going to be working out of. And also, who are the other startups in there? Access to funds deployed as well, access to talent, a lot of the other factors that can come into play. So you have a choice, and the choices in the UAE are increasing every day, whereas the choices in other places in the world are actually decreasing. So this by itself is a huge signal that this is the right place to be, this is the right time to be in this place. And just sitting right next to me is a fund as well. So a lot of funds are launching from Dubai as well. So that's a huge positive signal for you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Marwan. What I'd like to just add is that, if you do your homework, you surround yourself with the right people and seek the advice, there's a lot of advice you can find in Dubai. And, there's even company builders such as Virtual Zone that we've actually used ourselves that are pretty accessible to anybody and can guide you in the right direction to avoid, setting up in the wrong jurisdictions. And yeah, there's really a lot of creative ways to make things happening. Of course, I think Dubai is always looking to move forward in this, and it's going to be easier and easier for Web3 founders to be here, while all the rest of the world is doing the opposite. So I think we're all in the right place.
And if you need any kind of help and you're not sure about which jurisdiction and you want a neutral kind of answer, please reach out to us and Dubai Blockchain Center, not only for the regulation, but also in the incubation. There's a lot of incubators here in the UAE, whether it's in Dubai with Hub 71, N5, and Dubai Airport Free Zone, Commerce City. There's a lot of them that you might not be aware of. In Abu Dhabi, there's also Hub 71, ADGM as a regulator as well, and then we have RACDAO and Ras Al Khaimah. So you literally have a lot of choice. You just need to spend a lot of time and effort in actually exploring this.
That's really good advice, Dr. Marwan. Danilo, do you have any last advice for the audience for the closing of our panel?
Inspiration without action is merely entertainment. So if you were slightly inspired from this panel, I was. Thank you so much, Dr. Marwan. I would really encourage everybody to build, everybody to be an entrepreneur in your own ways. And if you're in Dubai, the first step is already completed.
Well, thank you so much. It was a short and sweet panel, but Dr. Marwan and Danilo, hopefully you'll be around if anybody wants to chat with you. And thank you so much for listening to us this morning, and I hope you guys have a great conference ahead.
Thanks, Nikita.